I stand here knowing that my story is part of the larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me.
Michelle LaVaughn Robinson was born on January 17, 1964, in Chicago, Illinois. Her early years were spent in a small apartment on the south side of Chicago, a working-class area that would profoundly shape her worldview. Growing up in this environment, Michelle learned the value of hard work and community. Her father, Fraser Robinson III, worked at the city's water plant and was a deeply respected figure in their neighborhood. Despite being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when Michelle was just a child, Fraser continued to work tirelessly to support his family. His resilience and determination left a lasting impression on Michelle, teaching her the importance of strength in the face of adversity. Fraser's illness was a challenge that the Robinson family faced together. Multiple sclerosis is a debilitating condition that affects the central nervous system, often leading to physical disability over time. Watching her father cope with this illness while still managing to provide for the family left Michelle with a deep sense of responsibility and a determination to make the most of her opportunities. Her father's unwavering dedication to his job and his family gave Michelle a blueprint for resilience that would serve her well throughout her life. Michelle's mother, Marion Robinson, was equally influential in shaping her daughter's character. Marion chose to stay home and take care of Michelle and her brother Craig during their formative years, ensuring that they had a strong foundation in education and moral values. Marion was a supportive and loving mother who encouraged her children to aim high, and her presence provided the emotional stability that Michelle would come to rely on. Michelle often speaks of her mother's quiet strength and how it helped her remain grounded even as she ascended to the highest social circles in America. The Robinson family's close-knit dynamic was a source of strength for Michelle, and the values instilled in her during her childhood would become central to her identity as a public figure. Despite the challenges they faced, the family maintained a sense of normalcy, with regular family dinners and shared activities like board games and reading. These simple routines helped foster a sense of stability and belonging, which became especially important as Michelle began to navigate the complexities of academic life and later, the political spotlight. Michelle's educational journey was marked by both achievements and challenges. Attending Bryn Mawr Elementary School in Chicago, she quickly demonstrated her intellectual abilities. Recognizing her potential, her teachers placed her in a gifted program where she thrived. This early experience set her on a path of academic success, but it also exposed her to the challenges of being a young black girl in predominantly white academic environments. As Michelle transitioned to Whitney Young High School, Chicago's first magnet school, she faced the pressures of attending a competitive institution where she was one of the few African-American students. The 3-hour daily commute to Whitney Young underscored her commitment to her education, and she consistently performed at the top of her class, graduating as the salutatorian. Despite these achievements, Michelle was often confronted with doubt from those around her. Some high school counselors and teachers discouraged her from applying to Ivy League schools, believing she was reaching beyond her capabilities. This sentiment of doubt, however, only fueled Michelle's resolve to prove them wrong. Her acceptance to Princeton University in 1981 was a milestone not only for Michelle, but for her entire family. Princeton, however, was not without its challenges. For the first time, Michelle experienced a deep sense of isolation as one of the few black women on campus. The predominantly white and affluent student body was a stark contrast to the community she had grown up in. Michelle's sense of being an outsider was amplified by a well-publicized incident involving her freshman year roommate. Reportedly, the mother of her roommate tried to have her daughter move to another dorm after discovering Michelle was black. While this incident brought Michelle face to face with the realities of racism, it also strengthened her resolve to excel despite the prejudice she encountered. At Princeton, Michelle majored in sociology and minored in African American studies, areas of study that allowed her to explore the systemic issues affecting communities like the one she had grown up in. Her senior thesis, Princeton Educated Blacks and the Black Community *, was a culmination of her academic interests and personal experiences. In this 99-page research project, Michelle explored the experiences of Black alumni and how their time at Princeton influenced their connection to the Black community. The thesis highlighted the difficulties that African American students faced in predominantly white institutions and raised important questions about the nature of integration and identity. After graduating from Princeton in 1985, Michelle went on to attend Harvard Law School, where she earned her Juris Doctor in 1988. At Harvard, Michelle continued to advocate for minority rights and social justice, participating in protests that called for more diversity in the faculty and taking part in the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau, where she provided legal services to low-income tenants. Harvard was a turning point for Michelle, as it was here that she began to gain confidence in her abilities and embrace her identity as both a brilliant scholar and a Black woman in a predominantly white institution. After graduating from Harvard, Michelle returned to Chicago to begin her legal career at Sidley Austin, one of the most prestigious law firms in the city. At Sidley Austin, Michelle worked in the firm's marketing and intellectual property law divisions. While she found success in the corporate world, she quickly realized that her true passion lay elsewhere. Michelle was driven by a desire to serve her community and make a difference in the lives of those who were less fortunate, and the rigid structure of corporate law did not provide the fulfillment she sought. It was at Sidley Austin that Michelle met a young Barack Obama, who was working at the firm as a summer associate while attending Harvard Law School. The two were paired together when Michelle was assigned to mentor Barack. Their relationship began as a professional one, but it quickly blossomed into a romantic partnership. Barack's charisma, intellect, and passion for social justice resonated with Michelle, and the two found that they shared a vision for a better, more equitable world. Their relationship would become the foundation for one of the most influential political partnerships in modern American history. Despite her success at Sidley Austin, Michelle decided to leave corporate law to pursue a career in public service. In 1991, she took a position as an assistant to Mayor Richard Daley, working in the Chicago city government. This transition marked the beginning of Michelle's journey into public service, where she would have a more direct impact on her community. In her role as Assistant Commissioner of Planning and Development, Michelle worked on initiatives aimed at improving the city's infrastructure and supporting local communities. In 1993, Michelle took on a new challenge as the Executive Director of Public Allies Chicago, a non-profit organization that encouraged young people to pursue careers in public service. Under her leadership, the organization thrived, setting fundraising records that lasted for years. Michelle's work with Public Allies allowed her to channel her passion for social justice into tangible results, and it became one of the most fulfilling periods of her early career. Michelle's career continued to evolve when she accepted a position as Associate Dean of Student Services at the University of Chicago in 1996. In this role, she developed the university's first community service program, encouraging students to engage with the local community and give back through volunteer work. Her work in higher education highlighted her belief in the transformative power of education and community engagement, values that would later shape her initiatives as First Lady. Michelle and Barack Obama's family life has been a central part of their public image. The couple married in 1992, and their two daughters, Malia and Sasha, were born in 1998 and 2001, respectively. Throughout her husband's political career, Michelle remained deeply committed to ensuring that their daughters had as normal a childhood as possible, despite the pressures of living in the public eye. When Barack announced his candidacy for the presidency in 2007, Michelle was initially hesitant. She knew that the demands of a presidential campaign would take a toll on their family, and she was particularly concerned about how the campaign would affect Malia and Sasha. Michelle agreed to support Barack's campaign under the condition that he quit smoking, and she also set limits on her own involvement in the campaign to ensure that she could be present for their daughters. During the campaign, Michelle balanced her role as a mother with her responsibilities as a political spouse. She limited her campaign appearances to 2 days a week and rarely stayed overnight, preferring to return home to her daughters at the end of each day. This commitment to her family was a defining characteristic of Michelle's approach to public life. She has often spoken about the importance of creating a stable and supportive environment for Malia and Sasha, even as the family faced intense media scrutiny. When the Obamas moved to the White House in 2009, Michelle's mother, Marion Robinson, joined them to help care for the girls. This decision allowed Michelle to continue her work as First Lady while ensuring that her daughters had a strong support system at home. Malia and Sasha attended Sidwell Friends School, a prestigious private school in Washington, D.C., where they were shielded from much of the media attention. Despite the pressures of living in the White House, Michelle worked hard to create a sense of normalcy for her daughters, ensuring that they had regular family dinners, chores, and responsibilities like any other children. When Michelle Obama became First Lady in 2009, she brought with her a deep commitment to service, education, and community engagement. From the beginning, Michelle made it clear that her primary focus would be on her family, but she also took on several key initiatives that reflected her passion for social justice and her desire to make a positive impact on the nation. One of her most significant initiatives was Let's Move WOW, a campaign aimed at addressing the growing problem of childhood obesity in the United States. Let's Move encouraged children to eat healthier, exercise more, and adopt healthier lifestyles overall. The initiative focused on improving school lunches, increasing access to healthy foods in low-income communities, and promoting physical activity in schools. Through Let's Move WOW, Michelle partnered with schools, food companies, and local governments to implement changes that would help reduce childhood obesity rates. While the initiative was widely praised, it also faced criticism from some who felt it was too prescriptive, particularly when it came to school lunches. Michelle was also a strong advocate for military families. Through the Joining Forces initiative, which she launched with Dr. Jill Biden, Michelle worked to provide resources and support for service members, veterans, and their families. The initiative focused on issues such as employment, education, and healthcare for military families, and Michelle often spoke about the personal sacrifices that military families make for the country. Her deep empathy for these families resonated with the public, and Joining Forces became one of the most successful initiatives of her tenure as First Lady. Another key initiative was *Reach Higher*, which encouraged young people to pursue higher education. Michelle frequently visited schools and spoke to students about the importance of hard work and perseverance. Drawing on her own experiences as a first-generation college student, Michelle emphasized the value of education and the need for young people to aim high, regardless of their background or circumstances. Through *Reach Higher*, she sought to inspire a new generation of students to pursue their dreams and achieve their full potential. Michelle also launched *Let Girls Learn*, a global education initiative that focused on providing education for girls around the world. The initiative sought to address the barriers that prevent girls from attending school, such as poverty, gender-based violence, and cultural norms. By partnering with governments, organizations, and local communities, Let Girls Learn aimed to improve educational opportunities for millions of girls who were being denied an education. Michelle's passion for this cause was evident in her speeches and public appearances, and the initiative garnered widespread support. Despite her many accomplishments, Michelle Obama has not been immune to controversy and misinformation. One of the most persistent conspiracy theories about her is the baseless claim that she was born male. This false narrative began as a satirical article, but was quickly picked up by conspiracy theorists and spread widely on social media. The theory gained more attention in 2014 when comedian Joan Rivers made a flippant comment, jokingly referring to Michelle as transgender. Although Rivers' comment was meant in jest, it was seized upon by conspiracy theorists as supposed proof of their claims. The conspiracy theory was further fueled by manipulated images and false claims that circulated on platforms like Facebook and Twitter. These images were designed to make Michelle appear more masculine, and they were often accompanied by misleading articles that claimed to have uncovered evidence of her supposed gender identity. Despite repeated efforts to debunk the theory, it persisted in certain circles, largely due to the power of misinformation in the digital age. In 2023, a report by AFP exposed how these false claims continued to circulate, even though they had been thoroughly disproven. The report highlighted the role of altered images and misleading articles in perpetuating the conspiracy, as well as the challenges of countering misinformation in an era where social media allows rumors to spread quickly and widely. This conspiracy theory, like many others, serves as a distraction from the real issues and contributions of public figures. In Michelle Obama's case, the focus on baseless rumors detracts from her work as an advocate for health, education, and military families. It also reflects the broader challenge of addressing misinformation in today's media landscape, where false narratives can easily gain traction and overshadow the truth. Michelle Obama's legacy as First Lady of the United States is one of empowerment, service, and inspiration. Through her initiatives, speeches, and public appearances, she has inspired millions of people to pursue their dreams, give back to their communities, and make a positive impact on the world. Her work on health, education, and military families has had a lasting effect, and her advocacy for women and girls continues to resonate globally. Michelle's memoir, *Becoming*, published in 2018, offers readers an intimate look at her life, from her childhood in Chicago to her years in the White House. The book was a critical and commercial success, with millions of copies sold worldwide. *Becoming* struck a chord with readers, particularly women and people of color, who saw in Michelle's story a reflection of their own experiences. The memoir's success further cemented Michelle's status as one of the most influential figures of her generation. In her post-White House life, Michelle has continued to engage in public service and philanthropy, while also enjoying more private moments with her family. She has expressed no desire to run for public office, despite speculation that she might enter politics. Instead, Michelle remains focused on making a difference through her writing, speaking engagements, and advocacy work. Her legacy is not just defined by her role as First Lady, but by the ways in which she has used her platform to uplift others and inspire change. Michelle Obama's story is one of perseverance, resilience, and hope, and her impact on American society will be felt for generations to come.